All right, so this is 9.2, arithmetic sequences and partial sums, part 1. Arithmetic sequence definition is a sequence is arithmetic when the difference between consecutive terms is the same. So let's say you have a sequence A1, A2, A3, and AN. Well, that's going to be arithmetic if the difference between each term is the same. So A2 minus A1 is equal to A3 minus A2. And then you keep on going, and that's what we call the common difference. So for example number 1, it says find the common difference of each sequence. So we're going to go ahead and expand that sequence out. So kind of like what we did in the last section, if we plug in 1, or we could start with 0, I guess. If we plug in 0, then we're going to get 3. If we plug in 1, we're going to get 7. If we plug in 2, then we're going to get 11. If we plug in 3, then we're going to get 15. If we plug in 4, then we're going to get 19. And then we could keep on going forever. So let's think about the common. So 7 minus 3, that's 4. Then 11 minus 7, that's 4. 15 minus 11, that's 4. So in other words, I need to add 4 to a term to get the next term. So 4 is our common difference. All right, so let's go ahead and do the next one. So we're going to plug in 1 and we're going to get 2. Then we're going to plug in 2 and we'll get negative 3. We'll plug in 3 and we'll get negative 8. We'll plug in 4 and we'll get negative 13. And then you could keep on going. Okay, and then now we could find the common difference. So negative 3 minus 2, that's negative 5. Negative 8 minus 3, that's again negative 5. So I need to subtract 5 from the term to get the next term. So I need to subtract 5 from 2 to get the next term, which is negative 3. So negative 5 is the common difference. All right, so next we're going to talk about the nth term of a sequence. So the nth term of an arithmetic sequence is defined by an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d, where d is the common difference and a1 is the first term. So this is our formula for an arithmetic sequence. Example number 1 says, find a formula for the nth term of the arithmetic sequence whose common difference is 3 and whose first term is 2. That just means, okay, so d is equal to 3 and a1 is equal to 2. So we're going to go ahead and just plug it in. And then distribute the 3. You gotta simplify these, so you should never leave anything unsimplified if you can. That's one of the reasons why you would get points off on a test, is if you leave it like this. So that this would be your answer. All right, so this is example number 4. The fourth term of an arithmetic sequence is 20. So A4 is 20, and the 13th term is 65. All right, part A says find the general formula. So the general formula is an equals a1 plus n minus 1 and then d. So that means I have to find d and I have to find a1. I'm going to go ahead and try to find d first. So I'm going to write that out. A4, I know that's 20. Then I have A5, A6, A7, A8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13, which is 65. So in order to get the next term, you have to add the common difference. So you have to add d to a4 to get a5. Then you would do the same thing. a5, you have to add d to get a6. And similarly, you have to do that. Until lastly, a12, you add d to get a13. So how many times did you add that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in other words, I know 20 plus 9d is equal to 65. And that way I could go ahead and solve for d minus 20 minus 20. 9d is equal to, that would give me 545, so d is equal to 5. All right, so now I could go ahead and plug it in for d. I know I could plug that in, but I need to find a1. So you could similarly go backwards. So I'm going to put a4 over here now, then a3, a2, and a1. You could say this is 20, and then in order to, you need to add 5, which would be, that would be 15, 10, and 5. So my a1 is 5. You could also go to page 622 and they solve a1 doing a different method on the side there. So now I could plug everything in. an is equal to 5 plus n minus 1 times 5. Remember to distribute the 5. Then the 5's actually cancel out in this case. Then you get an is equal to 5n. Okay, part B says find the first 5 terms, which we kind of already did here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Those would be the first 5 terms there.